Hello and welcome to PivotBY. My name's Jeff, I'm glad you're here. Let's just jump right in. By the end of this video, you'll be able to take data that looks like this and convert it into a summary report like this. And the good news, we're just gonna use a single formula. While we could do this with a pivot table, we're gonna use the PivotBY function instead. Let's head straight to Excel, exercise 1. In my previous video, I talked about the GroupBy function, and it's really similar to the PivotBY function. One notable difference is that the PivotBy function gives us column fields. So let's check that out right now. Equals PivotBy. Okay, we're gonna use region for the row fields. We're gonna use quarter for the column fields, and we're gonna use revenue for the values, comma, and we'll use sum as our aggregate function. Close function and enter. Just like that, we have a little pivot table style report created with a single formula. Pretty cool. Now, if we wanted to apply some formatting, we could grab these columns, open the Format Cells dialog, go with number, no decimals, comma, and click OK. And now this is fully dynamic, meaning if any of these values change, like let's change this to 1 million, the report is fully dynamic. It's also dynamic if we add new rows to the bottom of this table. Now that we're warmed up, let's go to the next exercise, exercise 2. Let's talk about value fields. First, we'll use two different value fields, then we'll use two different aggregate functions. Equals PivotBy. We're going to use department for the row fields, comma, we'll skip column fields, comma, and we're going to use salary and bonus as our value fields, comma. And we'll use sum to be our aggregate function. Close function and enter. And now we've got it. So you can see this function supports having multiple value columns. We could also use two different aggregate functions. So let's check that out. Let me delete this. Equals PivotBy. We're going to use department as our row fields. We'll skip the column fields. We'll use salary as our values, comma. And then we want to do sum and percent of. So like, how do we get two different aggregate functions in here? It's not like we can go sum, comma, because then it's already on to the next argument. So the way that we do that is by using the HSTACK function. This stands for horizontal stacking. And inside the HSTACK function, we'll do sum and percent of. Close the HSTACK function, close the PivotBy function, and enter. And now we've got it. And let's format column H as a number, no decimals, comma, and let's format column I as a percentage, click OK, and now we've got it. And once again, this is fully dynamic. So if any values in our table are changed, this will be automatically updated. And if we enter any new rows into our table, this report is also automatically updated. Pretty cool, right? I know, I love this function. Let's go to the next exercise, exercise 3. Here we'll use multiple row fields and we'll throw in some totals and subtotals. Equals PivotBy. We're going to use the category and subcategory both as our row fields. Comma. We'll skip the column fields for now. Comma. We'll use total as our values. Comma. And we'll use sum for our aggregate function. Close function and enter. Now we have our basic report. Let's insert some subtotals. So in addition to these core arguments, we also have many optional arguments. For example, what do we want to do with field headers? Are they included? Do we want to display them? What about the row total depth? Do we want grand totals, subtotals at the bottom, at the top? What about sort order? What about the column total depth? What about the column sort order? Do we want to apply any filters? And what is this calculation relative to? So there's lots of fun stuff to check out. Right now, I'm interested in row total depth. Here I want to select grand and subtotals. So that's a value of 2. Close this function and enter. And now you can see we have subtotals for each category plus the grand total. Pretty cool, right? Now let's talk about formatting. Let me grab column I, format cells, number, no decimals, comma. Good. Now, we can't just select some cells and apply some formatting because this report is dynamic. So if we add new rows to this table, this grand total could end up in a different row. So instead we'll use conditional formatting, and that's dynamic formatting. So I'm going to select columns G, H, and I. I'm going to go to conditional formatting, new rule. I'm going to select use a formula to determine which cells to format. my formula is going to be equal to $G1. Now, why did I use $G1? It's because this formatting formula is basically going to be written into this active cell and then filled down through the entire selected range. That means we need to be careful about absolute and relative cell referencing. So I always want to look at column G because that's where the grand total label is. But I want the formatting applied to columns H and I as well. So if the value in G1 is equal to grand total, then I click Format, and what do I want to apply? Let's just go with bold. Click OK, and now we got it. And now that's fully dynamic. And what if we wanted to format these subtotals? Well, one option is another conditional formatting rule. Let's select columns G through I, conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula to determine which cells to format. Now basically, there's a couple of ways to set up this rule. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say if there's a value in column G, but column H is empty, then highlight that row. So I'm going to go equals, and I'm going to go and I'm going to go, does $G1, is it not empty, comma, and is $H1 empty? That's going to look here, and it's going to say, are both of these conditions true? Does G1 have a value, and is H1 empty? If so, we're on a subtotal row. So I'm going to click Format. And once again, we'll go with bold, but you can pick any cell formatting you'd like. I'm going to click OK and click OK. And now we got it. And once again, this is fully dynamic. Now, what if we wanted a header row? So I could type in my own category header. For example, cat subtotal. And like that would be totally fine. But if I just wanted to pull in the same labels that are in the table, I can do that automatically. Let me delete that, and let's delete this, and we'll write this formula again. Equals PivotBy. Now, last time we just picked the values and we excluded the labels. But if we include the labels like this, comma, we don't need any column fields, comma, the values include the label, comma, the aggregate function is sum, comma, field headers, yes, and show, that's option 3, comma, row total depth, yeah, we want grand and subtotals. That's value 2. Close function and enter. And now you can see these headers are just pulled in right from the table data. And if we wanted to format that as well, we could certainly do that. So what we can do is we can select these cells again. We'll use conditional formatting. And basically we're going to say, is the value in column G equal to the word category? So conditional formatting, new rule. Use formula. The formula is equals $G1, is it equal to the word category? If so, what format do we want? Well, let's go with a bold font. Let's go with some dark fill. And to offset that, we'll use a font color of white. Click OK, and now we've got it. And once again, this formatting is totally dynamic. So that's how we can use a single formula to create a pivot style report right in Excel. And if desired, we can apply dynamic formatting with the conditional formatting feature. Hopefully this has been helpful. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Hey Excel user, if you ever need to create summary reports, check out my PivotTable for Beginners video. It starts at the beginning and shows how to store the data transactions in a table and then how to summarize those transactions with a PivotTable report. I hope it helps unlock the incredible power of pivot tables.
This video is a production of Excel University.